What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the league? It's your boys, and we back for another video for all of you from our work in progress, brand new studio. You good there?
Fly one in my eye.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boys, and we back for a new video for all of you in our in construction studio. So this is technically our first video in the new studio.
That's true. That's right. And so this video is, a lot of you have been asking how we feel about HHN 2017, what our thoughts are. But we've only gone once.
Yeah,
we went on September 15th, and we are going back.
Opening night.
Yep, and we're going back the 28th.
Yeah.
And so we can't really say exactly 100% how we feel about all of the aspects of HHN 2017. Mm-hmm. But here are our initial thoughts.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So, get ready. Let's have a good time.
So I think we should start with, first of all, how do we feel about the scare zones?
Scare zones. Okay. So
let's start first.
Once again, we have 3 scare zones.
Halloween, Toxic Tunnel,
and Urban Inferno.
So let's start upper lot, Halloween.
Okay. Initial thoughts, I like Halloween. I like the concept of it. I like the kind of twisted and demented figures of it. Pretty good scares in there. Some of the things that I do think is that I feel it's very empty. Mm-hmm. I've been to almost 9 years now, and I've seen some scare zones that have like wicked design. And one of our scare zones this year has awesome designs and awesome props with it. And I feel like Halloween is kind of lacking it.
Yeah, and I think this is completely because of Shrek 4D becoming DreamWorks Theater.
And the 2-story.
Yeah, so that's really made it so narrow, but I completely agree with you. It felt so empty. It felt like a letdown. It felt like we were saying the same scare actor every single time that we were up there trying to scare us. It was very barren. Like, we had a whole conversation right in the middle of the scare zone, and barely anyone came up to us. And that's like never ever happens.
Yeah, it does feel a lot empty in there, and that might be because
it was opening night. Maybe
it was kind of that midnight part. Mm-hmm. So we're not sure what happened there, but we did feel like Halloween was empty.
So now let's move on to Toxic Tunnel. How did you feel about Toxic Tunnel?
So Toxic Tunnel, we went to Midsummer Scream, where John Brady revealed concept art for the monsters inside of Toxic Tunnel, and me and you were hyped. We thought they were really cool. They had like melted masks in their face and stuff like that.
And they were in hazmat
suits. So going through Toxic Tunnel was kind of a letdown because we weren't given what we were promised. So for one, the guys were in construction uniforms, not hazmat suits.
So what were they doing in a tunnel? What's the storyline?
I didn't see a mask melded in the face whatsoever. I just saw mutations.
Yeah, there was like that one mask of like oozing this green. Yeah, that was like, okay, I guess that's kind of cool.
But I really like. He was saying the story was like they uncovered some kind of gas or something like that turned them into mutants. Right. There was no gas in there though. No. I really would have been cool if there would have been like
green fog
or orange, some kind of smoke effect would have been nice in there. We just got the same strobe lights from last year's The Purge, so definitely feel. Although I will say, scare-wise, it was pretty good. I can tell that the actors, for I guess what was lost in like visual pleasure, we got in like scares. So I thought it was pretty good. The guys were running around, sliding on the floor,
and they were persistent with us.
Yeah, they were hopping over the fence and stuff. That one guy got caught, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, scare-wise, I thought that scare zone was pretty good.
Now, Urban Inferno.
I don't know about you, but it's my favorite scare zone.
That is mine. Yeah, I loved the thing that made it the best for me was the Devil Queen at the end. How she like reached out to us and was like, "Wah!" I was like, "Whoa, all right."
I love how playful they were. Like when we turned the corner, one of the corners in like a little gauntlet, one of the monsters was waiting for us, and then he ran away, like coming, like mess with me. So you're just like, oh, I don't want to go over there, but it's the only way I gotta go. So I thought, and just like I said, prop wise, oh my god, I love it. I absolutely love. They've got signs, you know, all abandon all hope, all ye who enter. They've got, you know, demons on the side. They've got people suffering. So good.
Yeah, I agree. I think also it was a great way to showcase some of the previous scare zones. How like we saw it was the same Wendigos that we saw from 2014, I think.
Something like that.
It was cute. Not cute, but it was cute. It was great to see. Like we also saw the devil figures from This Is the End. They were there next to the ghillie suits. So it was like a great little mashup of all the previous years. So I really liked. It was probably the saving grace of all the scare zones, because if that wasn't so good, I would have think this year's scare zones was just trash. So now let's move on. Before we get into the mazes themselves, let's talk about the Terror Tram.
Terror Tram, it was kind of disappointing this year. It felt very short compared to other years, and yeah, it felt short even, and we did have to wait in like a traffic stop because there was a crowded abundance of people. I will say that there are 3 sections to the Terror Tram. They've got the Friday the 13th part, which is at the beginning. The second part is Freddy Krueger, and the third is
when it's like the Sawyer
leather.
meets,
Yeah. Well, they're a little bit earlier too. But point is, if it weren't for the Freddy part, I probably would have been really upset with this maze. The Freddy part saved this maze for me because it was really good. And I will say, like, also like Friday the 13th, some of the kills that they had in the motel Camp Crystal Lake was pretty good.
But see, I agree with you. Freddy was the best part. But my thing is, at the beginning, Chucky says in the video, "Oh, I know this new spell. Now I can be anyone."
Now anyone can be Chucky.
Yeah. Now anyone can be Chucky. We see Chucky once.
We see him at the beginning.
Once, and he's not even charging at you. He's in the truck going like, beep, 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 beep. We don't see him at all for the entire maze, the entire Terror Tram, and then once you get back onto the Terror Tram, he's like, "I'll kill you all." Unless you watch the trailer for my new movie.
Oh my god.
I loved the Freddy part, but that was the worst Terror Tram I've ever been in.
I get it. I definitely get it. You want to plug your new movie? Don't plug your new movie if you're not even in the Terror Tram. Don't plug your movie if you're gonna promise something and you're not even...
Anyone can be Chucky, so I expected like a Leatherface dressed up like a good guy, seeing I wanted to see that, and no. That is why this is the worst Terror Tram. I've only gone 5 years. This is the worst Terror Tram I've ever experienced.
Don't call it hosted by Chucky if he's only going to make a special appearance by Chucky. It probably would have been better if Chucky would have not been in the front or plugged his movie at the end. Because that just left a super sour taste in my mouth.
So now, since I'm all fired up, let's talk about Horrors of Blumhouse.
I like Horrors of Blumhouse. I know you don't like Horrors of Blumhouse because you're just anti-Purge. I thought the Purge section was really cool because it was the Purge Gauntlet like last year, and they did do enough to change. I felt to change it so it felt fresh, even though we've seen all these characters again. And again, what I like about Horrors of Blumhouse is that it's not just the Purge; it's also Sinister and Happy Death Day. And I thought Sinister's part was pretty cool. Some of the scares in that maze alone, whew, they got me good. Happy Death Day was, it was okay.
Yeah, that was a lot of walking in pure black that I did not like with Happy Death Day part. I like the Purge decorations. I did like how a lot of seeing the American flags done up in weapons, because let's face it, that's what the modern world is now. The Purge can happen at any point. I will give Horrors of Blumhouse the best scare of the night, where it was during the Sinister part where it's showing the footage and Bogul, the monster, literally sticks his head out and he's like, ah. That was the best scare of the night. However, the Purge did not have to come back at the end of the maze. I think it would have been such a solid maze if that ending part did not happen.
I did feel that it was so out of place that they had his name's like Big Papa.
Yeah.
With the machine. Like, I didn't think it was scary. Like, I just thought, oh, okay.
And yeah, remember when they did that in the Terror Tram and we were like, oh, okay, I'm dying.
Yeah, I just wanted to go,
So, I mean, it's not at the bottom of my list so far. Like, I would say this was a little bit higher, but it's not. It may be middle. It's not top of my list. Let's talk Titans of Terror.
Okay, Titans of Terror. I liked it. I really liked it. I don't think it's super scary. I really think that when John Brady said it was going to be a home haunt kind of thing, I definitely got that vibe. So for me, I really like this maze because I see this as a fun maze. Like, a maze that I'm not necessarily super hyped about, but it's like, if I don't have anything to do, I would love to go through this maze again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think it did bring something new, and it's totally different from the Terror Tram because you already heard of what we thought about the Terror Tram, but overall, I thought this was a solid maze. You know, it was separated in sections, and I know you don't like the transition that they do, but I thought it was a pretty cool kind of way to kind of separate them.
Yeah, I'll agree that with the lighting that it was. So what I was talking about is how there's a spotlight basically right on you that you have to walk through, and because they have a fog effect going, for me it's really blinding. I like the fact that it's different colors associated with different characters. My favorite parts of the three would have to be Freddy's part, just because that's the one it really reminds you that this is the kid's nightmare, like, because you see him being devoured by Freddy. But I feel like the rest of it doesn't really remind us that we're like in the kid's imagination.
I'll agree with that. I really would have loved to see more of that first room where it's Tobe's room.
Yes.
I really would have loved to see that incorporated in all throughout the maze. But it just,
or maybe just like at the end again.
It just sort of kind of becomes just their own characters, different parts of the maze.
Yeah,
so.
and then that just becomes like another, okay, why was this a home haunt? Now, like, you built it up in the beginning, like with Chucky, and it doesn't really deliver the storyline. So I think, I liked at least the smell effects when we were in Jason. That was a good one.
I will say though, I'm gonna give this maze a lot of credit just because, again, I'm pretty sure this maze wasn't supposed to be Titans of Terror. It was going to be something else, and they kind of rushed this at the last minute. So for last minute, I think this is really well done, and it's pretty high up. It's like middle of my list.
Now, since we're still upper lot, let us talk about The Walking Dead. We didn't do it yet.
Okay, that's a pretty good segment of The Walking Dead.
So I guess let's go. We did Terror Tram. Let's do Insidious.
I loved it. We did a few mazes before Insidious, and I thought one of those mazes was like gonna be my top one for the year. We went through Insidious, that changed real quick. This maze was so good. It is so dark in there. It is some of the effects that they did in there and some of the scares in there. Oh man, it just blew me away. The prison scene, if anybody's been through it, where you literally can't see the back wall, so you're just like, what's in this cell? And they just come running out of the darkness. Oh my god. And of course,
that 5 scare at the end.
Oh my god.
Turn the corner. Turn the corner. That was
so good.
As you guys can see in the footage that we recorded, I props to anybody who can get through, film all 5 scares and not be like flinching in the footage, because that was so intense.
And they're so close too. That's why I legit dropped to the floor because I thought they were gonna touch me and like abduct me to Neverland, and oh my god.
I think what my favorite part about this was that, like you said, with the Insidious taste, this didn't feel at all like the 2015 version. Like, it truly felt like we were going in different levels of the further with the different doors. I didn't feel like it was anything like the 2015.
Okay, I will say, going to that, I will say I feel like the other monsters weren't needed.
Yes,
I will say that, so like, yeah, this is probably my favorite maze, but I did feel like that kind of dropped it for me, because I really, once I started seeing the DJ Khaled monster, I was hooked on it immediately. I was like, okay, I just want this. This is what I want. And so when I saw The Man Who Can't Breathe Right and Darth Maul and Blackville Brides, I just, it was like, oh, okay, I've seen you already. I don't want to look at you. I want DJ Khaled. Yeah. Like, oh my god, that monster! I can't wait for the movie.
That was terrible.
That's how good this maze was. I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah. All right, so The Shining. How do we feel about The Shining?
Shining.
I am so disappointed in The Shining. First of all, let's go everything that was promised at Midsummer Scream, because that's really so.
Wait. I'm not disappointed in it, but I want to hear the
Yes. Carpet. It was so stressed about how like the carpets were gonna be so significant in all the different rooms. Bruh, you turn the corner, there's no more carpet.
Okay, yes, but I will say that also at Midsummer Scream, he said these are little details that he wants in the maze, because he is probably one of the biggest The Shining fans than all of us. And yes, I know what you're thinking. If he's such a big fan, why didn't he do the thing?
Exactly.
Yes, but again, I feel like he tried to focus on so much that at the end, he didn't have time to do that. But I will say that's no excuse.
No, that and then the Grady twins. That was the biggest disappointment. Not the biggest. No. Second biggest.
Don't you lie to that.
That was not the biggest disappointment. The Grady twins. It went from. It was okay. I get it. Logistically, how it's supposed to be constantly flowing.
Yeah, that's why.
Everybody's supposed to be.
That's why I forgive that.
Yeah. So it's like, come play with us. Come play with us. Come play with us.
But it's not just come play with us. They do say Danny forever, ever. Then they die forever and ever, and then they die. Then they say come play with us, Danny.
It's too quick. I didn't even really get a good look at them dead. That was the thing for me.
I kind of stopped right there to kind of appreciate that scene. So
and then the
big thing.
Cherry on the goddamn turd sandwich.
Ooh. Why do you have cherries on turd sandwich?
Because it's like it's supposed to make
it's a pickle on top of the turd sandwich.
Gross. Was the bloody elevator scene? We were told, adding more blood.
Hold on. There's gonna be so much blood. There's so much blood. Going back to the maze to add so much blood. Oh my god, you're gonna be covered in blood. You're gonna look like that scene from the new Evil Dead movie. That's how much blood.
Right. I completely forgot about that. There was a comparison of talking about Evil Dead and how they did the blood effect and how they were recycling the water so you could really get the blood effect. We got a freaking projector doing the exact scene enlarged from the movie.
And so much blood was a puddle of blood.
I was like tapping to see if it was wet or anything.
He was like, I'm adding so much blood to the walls, the chairs. It looked like somebody like kind of like dropped something in there, and it was just like, all right, yeah, that's good enough.
And like Mr. Encyclopedia even pointed out, the colors are even different. The projector has like the sides of the wall, different color than from what the actual wall is.
And I think what's kind of upsetting too is that we just found out that Orlando has the elevator scene, and they have a way better elevator scene. So yeah, and like you said, and like I said, I went through the Evil Dead maze that they did years ago. Oh, when I thought that's what they were gonna bring, when he said the blood from Evil Dead, I lost it, because I went through that maze, and that scene itself, it made you feel like it was raining blood, and everything was red. There was a red hue on everything, and that's like, okay, that's what The Shining's gonna be. But no.
But he made it up in a way with the blowjob bear, right?
Blowjob bear!
Maybe instead of budgeting the bear costume, you could have put that into, I don't know, just having like an elevator door being pulled.
Like I told you, I would have been fine if he did projecting stuff. I would have been fine if it was the actual door opening and then projector. That would have been okay.
Yes. So now let's go on from there to, let's say, American Horror Story Roanoke. You were the biggest skeptic about American Horror Story Roanoke.
Yes. Okay, so I was the biggest skeptic of Roanoke because, I was the mediocre skeptic of Roanoke because you've seen the entire season and you were complaining about it more than I was.
It's coming
I haven't watched Roanoke altogether, so I was the biggest skeptic. I'm upset about this. Anyway, I thought it was good. I actually enjoyed this maze. I haven't seen Roanoke. I saw a little bit with you, but overall I have no idea what Roanoke's about. I just know it's about the Lost Colony, and there's some butcher, and there's some pig head, and a Krakatoa, and so I thought it was really cool. I thought some of the like effects, like when they cut that lady's meat off.
Yep.
I thought that was cool, and I want to say probably one of my top favorite scares is in that maze. With the giant scarecrow looking dude, and they're just like I was like, no, don't eat me.
That was good, but I am very, very disappointed in the fact that this was one season, and only, like, you're talking about Lee, who was one of the main characters, none of the other main characters are represented in this maze.
Yeah, where's Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Exactly. Where's Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
Where's Lady Gaga? There's no Lady Gaga. And it was the maze itself. The scares relied so heavily on the Pigman, who was such a minor character in the season.
Little piggy.
And then there was the Changs, which that got me.
Where the Changs?
The ones that were like, remember? Like she was all scary looking. She was like, Don't you?
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, that was
I didn't see.
Because it's like they're like contorted. They're like, you know? Rewatch.
I didn't see.
You gotta rewatch it, but. So that was, I mean, that maze, I'm hoping next time that I go will be different.
Okay.
Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Ash vs. Evil Dead. I thought this was the biggest disappointment for me.
Biggest disappointment?
Yeah, I didn't find this scary whatsoever.
Yeah.
I did. This was funny, yes, but I don't go to horror nights for the laughter, and if I did, I would go see Bill and Ted come back. Anyways, Ash vs. Evil Dead, I really expected more, especially going through that last Evil Dead maze that I was talking about. So good, and yeah, I get it. It's a TV show and it's a comedy. It's a dark comedy, so I get where the comedy part comes in. I will say I did like Ash's interactions with everything, but overall, I would say this is not my favorite maze this year. I will say.
Let me ask you, how many Deadites were there?
Like 4.
I counted only 2.
Oh. I counted the old lady at the front.
And then the guy reaching down from the side. I think those were the only. Oh no! And then the hello boys. Yeah.
What about Marjorie?
Oh, Henrietta.
Yeah.
Henrietta, I consider to be a completely different cluster.
Yeah, but I would still consider her there.
Yeah. So the thing is, this whole show has a lot of Deadites, and like I predicted,
and the puppet. The puppet that was in the trailer was, at least I didn't see it. If you guys can point out if he's actually in there or not, I didn't see it.
This was, I mean, it was on the bottom of our lists. That's probably gonna stay there.
Yeah, I was really. I will say though, I did. No, never mind. I don't want to say.
No, don't say anything. Yeah. Don't you say it.
But yeah, it was okay.
Now let's move on to Saw.
Alright.
Games of Jigsaw.
Yo, okay, so I'm probably going to be. I feel like this maze isn't gonna get as much credit as I feel like it's gonna. I feel like it deserves. But for me, somebody who's watched almost all of the Saw mazes, I'm waiting on Jigsaw to come out. I really like this maze. This was the first maze that we went through that night, and it got me so hyped for the rest of the maze. So I did really like that. The Piggy Man, of course, came back to do the scares, but some of the actors, like in the maze, they were so good. The traps I thought were really cool. What they brought like the that thing.
That thing.
I really liked the barbed wire maze part of the thing, where the guy was trapped and he's like, help, bro, help. The dude with his head in the tank.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite part because it also showed that John Murdy, if you made the effects for a little minuscule tank, why couldn't you do it for the bloody elevator?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I really like Saw, and the ending is what I'm pretty sure just gave it to me. Is that I felt like I was in a Saw trap. When I saw the blades coming out of the wall and me walking towards the blades going, oh man, like it made me not want to get up against the wall. Like I felt terrified, and it sold it for me.
See, so for me, I really don't have a lot to say about Saw because I was more focused on trying to film it, and because of that, I really didn't have a positive experience when I went through Saw. I felt like the pig person was like, okay. Little piggy. I felt like a lot of the traps were us just watching it, so I didn't feel any fear. I will say, with the blades part, I will say I was annoyed because I was trying to film, but I couldn't get it around you guys well enough to actually try and get some shots. So I think definitely I'm not going to say my opinion or really come up with an opinion until after the
experience.
Yeah, after I've
because you didn't really experience that.
I was focused on the camera in my hand rather than.
Yeah, we were having technical difficulties. But I really like that maze. It's probably up on my list somewhere. But that video will come out some other time.
And there you have it. Those were our initial thoughts of Halloween Horror Nights 2017.
Oh, wait. Jabberwocky show. We didn't see it.
We didn't see it. And so, let us know what you all think. Are you also skeptic about this year? Honestly, I'm going to say it, and it's going to probably surprise you. I think this was my least favorite year of Halloween Horror Nights.
Wow.
I mean, it was the first night. So we'll see. Maybe that'll hopefully.
I will say this does feel like one of its weakest years.
Yeah.
You obviously haven't been as well as I have been, so there. I did feel like a few years back they did have some kind of okay years, but this does feel like it's going to might be one of the weakest years for Horror Nights.
And I think that maybe this is all the issues that they were having, but. Hopefully that was just a fluke.
Hopefully
that night.
Yeah, hopefully this opening weekend was just like a test run, and that little by little they're gonna get really good at this, and it's gonna be super amazing, and we're just gonna like eat our words in our mouth because
I'm okay
all
with
the
that.
mazes are just gonna be super great.
I'm okay with that. So if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button.
And you're already on the channel, might as well subscribe.
Yep, and if you're on Twitter, make sure to follow us at TLEV Tweets.
If Instagram's more your jam, go ahead and follow us at TLEV Pics.
And Snapchat, we have one, and we're gonna be taking pictures when we're in the parks.
Woo!
So that's at TLE Snaps.
Bam.
And of course, I'm Thomas.
I'm Josue,
We are boys.
and we out here.